This is my cousin, Leo. At 37 years old, he was at his prime. He was working out more than ever, building an online nutrition business, prepping for a full marathon, and emanating this great attitude about life, all while maintaining a happy family. Little did he know, his goals were fleeting. Time is passing, and this is Leo. For 2 long years, no one knew what was happening to him, not even his doctors.
Like, what is this? Like, what does he have? What's going on? You know, the first thing you're slurring, the next thing you're not at work anymore. You can't go to work anymore. And then the next thing you're in a wheelchair.
Strange things were also happening to Sophia, a girl I knew in high school.
My legs are not working right now at all. They feel like they're on fire. I have joint pain in my hands and the muscles in my legs.
Her body was weakening for some unknown reason, and after 4 years in the dark, doctors finally concluded that Sophia has Lyme disease. When left untreated, it is incurable. This is Leo at 41. He's diagnosed with severe dystonia, which is a neurological movement disorder, much like Parkinson's. It is also incurable. This is Sophia the day she dropped out of college. Her life went from centering around school to now a jaw-dropping treatment routine. She wants to recover from this. She's fighting to get her life back. Although some chronic illnesses aren't strikingly severe like Leo's, there's a magnitude of similarities beyond what others may see. Take Carice, for example. She inherited ankylosing spondylitis from her father, and she's doing everything she possibly can to slow its progression, even if it means saying goodbye to a former life, with former ambitions, and beginning a different one with totally new challenges. This is what it's like for Carice, Leo, and Sophia to become incurable.
Yeah, if you could explain the picture.
Oh, yeah. So, here's our picture from Christmas. I don't know what year is this. A couple of years, maybe 4 years. We always take pictures Christmas with the family. This is my mother-in-law and her side of the family, and then these are the children. And so this is Leo. He really looks good in there. You know, it's his best. He just ran his first half marathon from San Luis Obispo. He did 13 miles from San Luis Obispo. So that was a really big accomplishment for him. So his next goal was to do a full marathon. So. What's that, Victoria? Hi, babe. Did you fell asleep right after? Jun, put your... Oh, what's wrong? You can tell on the camera, honey. Your nose is blocked?
Clogged up.
Plugged up.
It's the food that gets stuck in there sometimes.
Oh, look at him walking straight. Yeah, we cheer. We cheer on every time he walks straight. It's that little things, you know. Oh, there you go. He's gonna eat.
Yeah.
Yay. This is his throne. Is this yours?
God would just put you in my mind. It's like, pray for her, pray for her, pray for her. So that means that's just part of God's deep love for you that you don't even understand. So you finally showed up. You know, unless you willfully rebel. But I'm glad because I missed you.
Oh, I miss you too. I know it's been so.
After some rest, this is what Leo looks like.
Was it
And here he was earlier, before his rest. His balance is completely off, and he's so exhausted from his muscle spasms that he has to pull his shirt back to keep his body cool.
It's because of the spasm on his stomach, so it makes him move forward. So honestly, we really don't know like the cause of it, but it's just that constant spasm. So he can't really sit, stand, or lay down, like how we all do it. Yeah, so this chin just uncontrollably, it kind of just open, you know.
At this point, Marmee and Leo have decided to move forward with a brain surgery that could potentially ease his condition.
Is this the closest thing that you guys have?
It's big. Yeah, we're taking this step because none of the medications actually worked for him. So the actual DBS procedure, it's called deep brain stimulation. As far as I understand, it's to give the brain the right signals to the muscles. There is no guarantee, but we are praying that it'll have a lot of favor for Junie. Yeah. So. Best friend, we missed you.
You know, like every day I'm here with Junie when Marmee is not here, and you know, it takes a lot out of you to just watch, you know, him just constant movement with the spasm. And like I tell them, you know, I go home and I get so tired, you know, just have to like go to sleep for a couple hours just to recoup again. We have God, so God is the one that gives us the strength to be able to endure.
Amen.
You're very photogenic, huh? Girl Scouts is actually how I contracted Lyme to begin with. I was camping with my Girl Scout troop, and since contracting Lyme disease from a tick bite, I became really, really, really scared of nature because I'm like, oh my God, that's where ticks are.
Sophia's disease was left untreated for many years. Because of this, her condition is irreversible.
Like, there's a deer in this picture right here. I bet that deer has ticks. That's the only thing that I can see when I look at that picture now. College was really great because I got to have a lot of experiences that I wouldn't have had otherwise. I was the co-director of the Multicultural Center, and I was the president of the Accessibility Student Union. And the whole reason why I got in there in that environment is through Lyme disease. I was experiencing oppression based on being a chronically ill person. People used to refer to me as like a badass, which at the beginning I was like, oh, that's such a cool label. But by the end, I really resented it because I felt like it didn't allow me to be vulnerable and like real with my emotions and my struggle, because there was no room for me in this like persona of being really strong, and I felt like I had to be made of iron all the time, and like nobody really saw the real me or like the vulnerable me, or like I couldn't have emotions other than anger. I got so excited that I was in such a cool environment that I just went overboard.
there as soon as possible. I feel like bad.
Like you're slurring your words or something?
I was in complete denial that it was getting worse and worse and worse. So I did go home and I had to like say bye to my jobs, and the Multicultural Center threw me this big party. So I had to say bye to all that, and it was like the hardest decision to like drop out. I knew it needed to happen, but like that still didn't make it any easier. It was so difficult for me.
You want to take some charcoal?
Okay.
Where is it? I think it's in that bag right below, under the bag.
A week and a short haircut later, Sophia invites me to see her treatment routine. Although Sophia is treating for Lyme, she also developed other illnesses that coincide with her condition. Her treatment regimen accommodates those too. In a nutshell, she's taking antifungal medication, pharmaceutical antibiotics, vitamins, and herbal liquids.
Okay, that was my morning routine. That's every time I wake up, every morning when I wake up, and I repeat the same thing when I go to bed. That's like the most steps I have to do for taking my stuff, and then like I have to take other things throughout the day, but the morning and the evening ones, or the morning and the bedtime ones are the most intense.
So this was just for the morning?
That was just for waking up, yeah. This whole box is like what I take on a daily basis.
The U.S.'s Affordable Care Act provided a safety net for Carice to afford quality treatment as a low-income patient. After diligent research around proposed changes, Carice resorts to advocacy to defend her rights to accessible treatment.
This was the first thing on my mind when I heard that he'd won the election, was that I would lose health care. And that night I cried. But I think since then I've just become hardened to the fact that it's going to happen, and I'm mostly numb. I already have to fight hard enough for health care, and now I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm so old. Well, yesterday was infusion day, so I slept like 15 hours last night, and it was really hard to wake up this morning. I got called asking to be on a local news station talking about the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare. So that's happening in about an hour. It's exciting, but it's also really, like, the reason I'm being interviewed for these is a really frustrating and depressing thing, because I'm talking about losing my health care.
Alrighty here. Alrighty. Can I get you anything to drink? Orange juice? Two.
Okay, it's cute.
Are you guys ready? I can't tell. All right. 1, 2, 3, go!
I think you ran an extra mile.
It's the day after I finished running the Loco 200 relay with my team, and I was stiff as a board this morning. I woke up and I was in the same exact position as when I fell asleep last night. My lower back was stiff, my legs were stiff, I have a knot behind my shoulder blades that whenever I take a deep breath it makes my arm go numb. But the pain that I have from ankylosing spondylitis does not go away. As bad as it hurts right now, nothing can hurt as bad as AF. In a weird way, I like this pain because I know it's not gonna stay with me past a couple days. We'll see how I am tomorrow.
Alright, Grace, let me put this on your
Undershirt.
way to hide it a little bit right there.
How long do they take?
About 2 hours for the medicine all to go in, but prep time and end time longer. I have ankylosing spondylitis, which is a severe inflammatory disease throughout my whole body. Most of my symptoms are just pain in my spine, but I feel it in my shoulders and all of my larger and smaller joints. And it's a full body disease, so it also affects like my eyes and my lungs and my other organs. My legs are so tired and are in so much pain from fighting so hard to keep up.
First of all, what has the news of the last few months felt like to you?
I just feel like I'm on a roller coaster. And the ACA has basically kept me from going to the emergency room for all my care. And I'm afraid that that's what's going to happen. I'm going to just seek all my care at an emergency room, which is not how to treat a chronic disease.
All treatment does right now is kind of slow it down at this point. Is it incurable at this point?
Right. There's no cure.
Is it in some ways bearable? Well, you tell me. What is the difference between having care and not having care for you?
So without treatment, I'm more likely to have my spine fuse with bone spurs that turn it into just a straight, long bone spine that doesn't move. And every day I think if I don't have access to treatments, I could turn into my dad and die. So this isn't just a like, I'm sick and I need this treatment so that I feel better. It's, I'm sick and I need access to treatment so that I don't die soon. So that I can keep living and have some sort of quality of life. So this is just a really personal thing. It feels like it's a personal threat against my life.
Hi, are you here for the Lyme group?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can have a seat.
Hi, I'm Jennifer.
Oh, hi.
Another J.
I'm Kristen.
I'm the oldest
Oh,
one
hi,
in the
Kristen.
world.
Okay. Yeah, there's always more than one. Yeah, really.
We are just going around talking about our stories or what we're going through right now, and we prioritize new people who've never been here before because new people tend to have more questions and need more support than people who've been here for years, like me and Dave, for instance, we've been here for years. So feel free to just talk about what's going on with you.
So I just found out that I have Lyme for sure last week, but I've suspected I've had it for a while. So yeah, I really, right now I'm just, everything is just kind of overwhelming because I really don't know where to start. Is that who everyone sees here?
The bacteria of Lyme disease is a spirochete, which is a corkscrew-shaped bacteria, and it can enter any part of the body. People have spirochetes in their brain, in their blood, and all the organs. It can affect a lot of different places.
That's why she wanted to try the eye.
This bacteria makes it incredibly difficult for the immune system to get rid of toxins. For Sophia, the fastest way of ridding toxins is this.
So I happen to own an infrared sauna for detoxing. I use it probably 2 to 3 times a week, and I just sit there and sweat. You do a lot of detoxing through your sweat glands, so I just got out of the sauna right now, and I'm already feeling a lot better. I can walk. When I walked in there, I had to use my cane to get inside the sauna, but now that I'm out, I don't feel as much pain in my body. I feel like a little bit of joint pain in my hands, but it's not nearly as bad as it was yesterday, or even just before I went in the sauna. So I'm already feeling like much more renewed and refreshed. When I told his stepmom what happened last night, or he asked me, how are you? And I said, pretty bad, I got a hit. And he said, where and from what? And I said, TJ Maxx, reusable bags. And he said, oh, that's really a shame. I'm sorry that happened. Process picking out what we're gonna watch, even like,
Getting hypnotized by these.
And he said, did you take your detox drops? And I said, I haven't taken them. Oh my God, thank you for reminding me about that one. I completely forgot about it. I like how he's level-headed and calm because that helps me stay level-headed and calm. If I'm doing absolutely garbage terrible, then he'll react appropriately. But if he knows that this is something that I'll come out of and it'll get better, then he doesn't make that big of a fuss about it, which I actually really appreciate. You know, like, healing is not linear. Even though I'm doing so much better, I still have a couple of days where, like, I'm still back in that place where I was. With me, I try really, really hard to do Lyme treatment and be in college at the same time, and it worked for a while, but until it didn't. My case was a little more complicated because I had a mold problem in my apartment and at school.
Sophia has mold illness, which is known to develop alongside Lyme disease.
Towel is okay.
Which means she has to eliminate the source of mold at home and stay as far away from it when she's out of the house.
That's bad.
The tricky thing is that mold is easily picked up and can grow almost anywhere.
Okay, this is good. I'm surprised about that. I have a bad feeling about this comforter, which I didn't even get that long ago. I got it like 4 months ago. maybe even earlier. Oh yeah, it's bad. I was trying everything to do to not drop out, but I did end up dropping out 2 years ago, and I haven't gone back. But I really want to. This one is actually okay. My nose. So I get an instant headache when I smell it. It just goes like zing in my brain. Or I guess it's not in my brain, but like right here in my forehead, it just like radiates up my nose and into here. So I wish that I can like be more descriptive of what it smells like, because I don't even know like what that smell is called, which is like frustrating, you know? I guess that one's a maybe. It smells bad. No. This one is really important to me because my relatives brought it over from Ecuador last May, and now this is like my only, I don't know, I feel really attached to Ecuador, and it makes me sad that I can't go there. So when I lose something that like is from there, it makes me feel less attached and less connected, and this would make me really sad if I had to lose, but it smells awful. Bad.
Sophia takes preventative measures the moment she's aware that her body is reacting to mold, but it's an arduous process.
And I just wash my hair and scrub my entire body like very vigorously with soap, including my face, especially my face and like my chest area, because that's where I was picking up all those clothes and holding them directly to my face. Now I have to like decontaminate and get all that stuff off me so I don't contaminate my space now. So, and it's really frustrating because I have to decontaminate up to like 5 times a day, depending on where I go. I'm gonna have to go through all of these too. But I can only do a little bit of this at a time because I'm like reacting right now from all the stuff, so my head hurts. Yeah, that's really bad. Really bad. Again, makes me sad. Hopefully this purse is okay. Otherwise, I'm not gonna have any purses. This one is okay, miraculously. Oh, my earmuffs. These are bad. I'll put these here in the I don't know what to do with them pile. I don't have very much left in my room now. Like, I got a bunch of new stuff for Christmas and my room was like looking better, and now it's all back down again. I don't have very much stuff. Looks kind of sad in here. Ugh. I'm like winded now from doing all that stuff. It wasn't even a lot that I did, but it was a lot to me. About 10 hours ago, I got a really bad mold hit at my friend's house from her kitchen sink. And my whole upper body hurts really bad. Like, my muscles are really achy and sore, and my joints in my hands hurt, and just like all my muscles feel very sore. And I'm feeling terrible, and I have to wait to eat breakfast because I have these morning pills that I'm supposed to take 30 minutes before I eat, so I can't even eat, and I'm really hungry. And I'm feeling just awful.
Most of the pain I've been feeling this past week has been in this area where my sacroiliac joints are, and even when I'm touching it, it's like really, I don't know, like bumpy, like from scarring and scar tissue and inflammation. I have pain there all the time, no matter like if it's as bad as it's been this week or not. And I have a lot of pain in my neck. And I can actually like rub it and you can feel like the grinding of scar tissue and whatnot. And then I have a lot of pain in my fingers and my wrists. So a lot of times I'll wear a wrist brace, especially when I'm typing on the computer, so that my hand and my wrist are straight.
My granddaughter, a couple of years ago.
We're putting ashes on people's foreheads and praying with them. It's like the start of Lent. And last year I was also on foot, so it's different this year being in a wheelchair. That's one of the things I'm able to give. Like, I can bless people. I can't give money and I can't give like physical help, but that blessing opens people's hearts a lot and gives them a space to be vulnerable, which I think we all need. So.
This is Leo a couple days after surgery.
Good job.
We're gonna wash it. Hey, look at your mom.
Good job.
A couple weeks later, he's sent home. Leo now has a brain pacemaker inside his chest. There are cords connected to his brain, sending small electrical pulses to target area of his brain where his dystonia is stemming from. In addition, Leo also has a feeding tube. Time will tell whether his condition improves.
Junjun! I'm your favorite sister. Oh! Oh! How do you feel? It's me, right?
She is my favorite sister.
Something like that. No.
I remember I was in gymnastics and he would train me. My dad's really tough, but we all needed a little push when we were in sports and stuff like that, like arrows and taekwondo.
I got really far. I went to the Junior Olympics, and he would always be the one recording me on the tape. My stepmom, Marmy, she'd always be yelling woo, Ariel, and then my dad, he would be so strict when I got out, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? But it taught me more self-discipline and taught me I need to focus more than rather just go through the motions.
That's one of my best memories, just because he knew how far I could go. That's what I love about my dad, because he sees the best in us and he just wants us to succeed. And even if we don't see it, he already sees it. He already has us 10 steps ahead of what we're thinking.
Hey, that's funny how we're going.
Always Junjun.
We're going
Junjun's always the favorite.
Oldest, middle, youngest.
Why do you say that? Because he's a good one out of us. He doesn't give our parents a hard time.
Like we do. But yeah, or did.
What the heck? We just do this.
I don't think we were bad. I just think that we just didn't listen entirely to our parents. They said don't get tattoos. We have many.
You have
many. I
have two. It makes me cry every time because my dad was in his prime. There's no way of us knowing what was gonna happen. To me, it was he finally found something that he was happy about. So, sorry.
When he first started having like these symptoms, I went to the hospital and I was like crying, like, and he would always like, why are you crying? Don't cry, like it's okay, I'm okay. And I would just like sit there and like just be bawling at the hospital. Like now my stepmom asked me to come over and give him his medicine. Like she asked me to stay the day with him, and my dad's taking care of me, so I felt like now it's my turn to take care of him.
So me and my sister were talking one day and we decided to do the lion because my dad has the lion tattoo. And it's like Leo the lion. My dad's the king in our family, so it's just strong, brave, loyal. That's why we decided to get it. Yeah. You're gonna have one, I'm pretty sure. Oh! Yeah. You said yeah!
The what's it called?
If you say something
the non-permanent.
Oh,
yeah.
The ones that you put a towel on when it's wet? No. On my first one, I didn't cry.
On either of them.
It's hashtag from where we at. From where we stand.
Do you guys do or tell Judy anything to let him know that he's like not a burden?
I think in the beginning it was, you know, we just need to make sure like he snap out of it.
Yeah.
I think like, no, because the more you feel like you're a burden, then you feel sorry for yourself, and there's no room for feeling sorry for yourself. You're still living, you gotta live your life. We'll go to like little trips and here and there, you know, to show him that, you know, you have us.
A long life.
Yeah, you still have a lot of things to look forward to.
Leo writes to me about his most vulnerable moment on his journey with dystonia. Marimi reads this aloud.
I was in pain so bad that I couldn't breathe. I had to go to the ER numerous times. I thought of ending my life because I felt like a burden. Mentally and physically, I was so tired. But I love my family so much, I couldn't do it. They would fight for me and I would fight for them. Aww. Yeah, I mean, there were times in the beginning that, you know, he did share that you know, he wanted to end his life.
Yeah.
He did. He shared that, and he's very vocal about it before. And then I said, well, that's not fair, because how could you give up and I don't, and we don't? I said, you know, here we are trying to find the best doctors and the best solution for it and find a good life, a quality life for him, and you just want to end it? And why? You know, I mean, you're still living, you still have us. So there's no point of ending your life.
No, here's Sophia. End up coming back to the ER.
Second time this week.
She wasn't feeling well. She was having heart problems, heart palpitations and tachycardia. So she was trying an experiment to see if sleeping out in this tent would help. And it actually did help a lot. She was out here for a couple days. She suddenly got this intense chest pain. My husband Hector tried to pick her up to go to the car, and Sophia didn't have any strength, and she fell down, and he grabbed her by the midline, which was exactly where it hurt the most, and she yelled out in pain, and it was just really bad. So at that point, her boyfriend called 911.
Mom says it was 9.5. I never say 10 because it could always be worse. I don't think I've ever said my pain was a 10. But when I got here, I think it went down to an 8.
I thought maybe she was dying. That's how bad it was. It was really scary.
I don't really understand what happened still. All I know is that I was outside
hanging out with Esteban in the backyard.
I don't understand what's going on at all. I don't get it. I don't get it. It could be pleurisy, but it really bothers me that I don't have a straight answer as to what's been happening. So I have to like sit with this discomfort of not getting it or not knowing what to do about it. I'm used to having some aspects of my life up in the air. Like, I can't really make long-term plans, or when someone asks me, like, what's your goal in life? I don't know what my goal is, and I'm used to that feeling, but not like this where I don't know how to manage my symptoms. So I feel like if I try to think about what's happening too much, then I get very sad, confused, jaded, and like, I don't care about, well, it's not that I don't care, that's not it, it's like, I don't know, I don't really know, I guess that's how I'm feeling, like, I don't know, and it's hard to live like that because the pain is so bad where it, like, I can't help but think about it because I'm miserable, a lot of the time, but I thought that I might not make it. It was that scary.
Okay. Yay, prescription meds. I do have a life outside my disease. Began modeling after I was diagnosed. It's kind of an escape for me. It's like a performance. It's like going on stage and acting. It's one of the only times, besides running crazy relays, that I feel good about my body. I can escape from what's going on inside it, and I can also use that to spread awareness. There's such stigma associated with taking narcotic opioid medications. And I won't say there's not a problem with people becoming addicted to them, but I think there is a problem when policies are being made to limit the access of the drugs. Like, if I didn't have these on hand for when I need them, I would be in the emergency room once a month or more, and that costs the system a lot more. So it's not a decision I take lightly, but like, what else, what other options do I have? Doctors won't believe this, but like, doctors operate on this pain scale of 1 to 10, and 10's like the most pain you can ever have. And I was at 25, and that's not even an exaggeration. This happened when I was like leaning over in my chair to look at something on my computer, and I had this sudden like explosion of pain in my lower back, and I could barely move, and everything hurt. Every time I moved at all, I would moan and scream, and just like want to die. And I had no control over my body. And it hurt more than anything I've ever felt in my life. I called a rheumatologist before I went to the emergency room and had him like advocate and tell the ER I was going so that they'd like believe me. And he was like, so what's your pain on the scale of 1 to 10? And I was like, it's like 11 or 12. And he kind of like scoffed and laughed. And they could never understand unless they were going through it. And I also have to like prove that I need the help. So if they think I'm lying, then they'll think I just want drugs, even though everything that I'm feeling and saying is actually my reality. And they're kind of taught to be like these skeptical, analytical people, so. I have to figure out like, okay, this is the pain I'm feeling, but if I explain it the way I'm actually feeling it, my doctors will think I'm crazy. So I have to figure out how to explain it this way so that they'll actually get it and respond, even though it's actually worse than that. So constantly figuring out how to present myself, even to the people who are supposed to be helping.
God bless you. Thank you for it. What's your name?
That's a blessing that I memorized that my priest adapted it from a blessing, and he took it to Burning Man. And it's actually a full-body blessing that usually, like when I'm able and I'm standing, like I usually like anoint the eyes when I say the eye part and the ears and lips. And when I bless the feet, I actually like kneel down and kiss their feet. But it's this whole body just blessing for anybody, and it's not even religion specific, so I really like it. Yeah. What's your name? Yeah. Michael. Remember that you are dust. The world now is too dangerous and too beautiful for anything but love. So may your eyes be so blessed that you see God in everyone. Your ears so that you hear the cry of the poor. Your lips so you speak nothing but the truth in love. Your hands so that everything you give and everything you receive is a sacrament. Your feet so you run to those who need you. And may your heart be so opened, so set on fire that your love changes everything. Amen.
Okay. It's like a remote control. I said we're not gonna give it to Junie because we don't want him to be like. Let's go DBS.
Every week, Marmee and Leo increase the brain pacemaker's electrical impulses. It's an opportunity to see gradual changes in Leo as the device does its work.
Try. You want me to move it up? Just realize just that
Okay. I think it's
Have you been massaging him less, June?
not as often.
Yeah. Well, that's because I'm in school, but if I'm out of school, he'll probably ask me. No?
The past
No.
week, I think
Not
it's
really.
less.
Look at his
The past
face.
week, it's like less.
It's less. I actually don't help him at night. I just need to wake up and give his medication. But other than that, I don't hold or massage him anymore. One morning he told me like, "Oh babe, I really can feel that I'm gonna walk soon." You know, that he's gonna be.
He said that?
Yeah. Oh, you can walk now.
Yeah.
Did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
His voice is clear.
But that was like what, 2 weeks ago? You just said that. How dare? Oh. Stop it! Oh my God!
You're fine.
That's a good one, Dad. You're so funny. Shoot.
He was pimping. I saw it. I saw it. Yep, he's got attitude.
Bev, you're so funny. What was that hand? What was that? Really? You don't walk like that. Like a pimp. Like, really? What was that?
That's all God's work.
God
is good.
He provided for everything.
Give him all the glory.
Mhm. He knows. He had a good neurosurgeon. You know, he provided for everything.
the best of everything.
Okay, now we're crying. Yeah, it is good.
Doing it. He's doing it. It's a big change. It's happening.
I'm walking again.
You never thought you could walk again?
Yeah, you did it.
I know.
Praying for us and encouraging us. And I'm sure the people, we're not the only family. There's families out there that are going through the same thing or maybe even worse. But they need that encouragement. They need that prayer. They need, people. That people to support them,
What are you doing now, babe? Just
Hello.
pinball? Pinball?
But it helps. It seems like it helps them focus and it kind of really.
Yeah, we can start prayer.
Yeah.
Worship.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it was sweet.
Turn into wine. Open the eyes of the blind. There's no one like you. None like you.
My name is Carice. I am a chronic disease advocate and a writer, and I'm here representing people with incurable chronic diseases. I am also disabled.
In addition to Medi-Cal, Carice is also depending on approval for Social Security disability income. Her claim was denied over a year ago, but she continues fighting for it.
I mean, I do not know where I would be without my parents' financial support. And there's other people who don't have any insurance at all, or they have just the crappiest insurance and it doesn't cover anything.
Sophia's still on our insurance plan because she's under 26.
It's really fun.
We have a really good plan and it covers a lot. But when she turns 26, I don't know how that's gonna work out. I don't know. It's kind of something that's
Looming in the future.
But
a big question mark.
Yeah.
Sacramento, I wish I didn't have to be up here telling you how important healthcare is to my survival. The most important thing I should be doing is focusing on taking care of my health, not fighting for the right to have healthcare.
He has my insurance and he also have Medi-Cal Blue Cross, and so it pretty much covers everything. When we went through this journey, when Junie got sick, you're gonna make me cry. I've surrendered everything to God. I've really surrendered my life, everything. I said, you're in control. You're in control of this situation, of our situation, and I know you will provide. I know you will take care of us. It belongs to you now. And he did.
Jakira was.
I'm tired of having to show up to fight for common sense action, aren't you? But it is working, slowly. The more we march, the more we're heard, and we can't give up now, right?
In the past couple years, Sophia has been making a slow return to nature, the place where her journey with Lyme disease began.
There's a school of thought out there for dealing with mold illness called extreme mold avoidance. The protocol is you go to a pristine environment like the desert. You're working on the assumption that everything you own is contaminated with mold. So you buy all new possessions for camping, and then you go to the desert or wherever your pristine environment is for 2 weeks. And then a lot of people report that they get like a ton better when they're in the desert, like night and day. I was very, very skeptical that this would work before I left.
Mold doesn't grow in dry climates, so this environment is a lot safer for her. She's able to do more because of this.
I hiked 2 miles on my second day, so if I can hike 2 miles on my second day, I'm more curious about how much I'm going to be able to do by the 14th day. I'm making a lot quicker progress than I did the very first time. And I had some bad days the first time. I think it was like 10 good days and 4 bad days. Overall, it's been quite good. I don't think I would have gotten my diagnosis without the internet. And there's all of this support online. And I think it's just the best thing that any chronically ill patient can have is a support system.
The depressing part of it is we keep having people join the Sacramento Lyme group where that happened. Their 20-year-old daughter or son just got diagnosed with Lyme disease, and it's so depressing for me because that is exactly how it happened with Sophia. Like she was, it was like exactly what happened to us. You know, at the time we didn't realize it was Lyme disease, but it was on a Girl Scout camping trip. So 4 years later, she was diagnosed with Lyme, and I was just kind of feeling like, wow, if I wouldn't have done Girl Scouts and put her in it, she wouldn't have been exposed to ticks and Lyme disease.
Something just happened, you know? It's not anybody's fault. Well, it is people's fault. It's the Infectious Disease Society of America's fault.
Yeah, I think it's the medical
industrial complex.
Yeah, that don't know about Lyme and don't know what to do for a tick bite.
But it's not my mom's fault, and it's not Girl Scouts' fault. I'm still glad that I did it.
The way that everybody has been diagnosed is by doing their own research online and insisting on a Lyme test. Because sometimes, like, they'll even ask their doctor for a Lyme test and they'll say, oh no, don't worry.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
There's no way you have Lyme.
That's what happened to me. I went to an infectious disease specialist and he said that there's no Lyme in California, so he wouldn't even test me. I'm like, well, if you believe that there's no Lyme here, why don't you just do a freaking test? They treated me like crap, and there's so many other people that I know who have bad experiences with infectious disease specialists.
Whatever the infectious disease doctor told them, it's almost verbatim.
Yeah, there's no Lyme
single
disease
time.
here, you're crazy, psychosomatic.
Yeah. Like what happened to us and what happened to everybody. Like the doctors say the exact same thing. Like, there's no Lyme in California, there's no way you have it, but they won't test for it. They'll test for everything except that. Like when that happened to Sophia, they tested her for like 10 things,
including HIV and syphilis,
which all came out negative.
Of course.
But refused to test for Lyme.
Yeah.
College was this insular environment where I was around all these people my age and I didn't know how to interact with them. So I guess my answer was to be this goofy person. And there's disconnect there because I don't feel goofy anymore. Although I have a couple newer friends in Sacramento who knew me after all that goofball time, who are bringing it back out. This is my South Africa study abroad pictures. I trained some adults in using the computer and tutored some school kids. Climbed Table Mountain, which is an iconic landmark. Bungee jumped. The people who are healthy, largely support systems exist during times of need, of significant need. But sick people need it all the time, so I think usually we become our own support networks for each other because we're the only ones who kind of get it, unless we find amazing people who are open enough to listening and have the energy to continue giving and giving and giving and not always receiving back, because we can't give back what we receive a lot of times. In terms of having like family type of support system that would be nice, I don't. Part of that is my choice because I live in California and my immediate blood relatives live in North Carolina and Alaska. But part of it's just because I haven't found it. I really want to participate in life, and when my body doesn't agree, it just reminds me how sick I am. And I just wish I had my old body back.
Let me get a timer for you. 5 minutes. Is that good? Okay. I have been working with him, I think it's only been like 2 weeks. It's only been 2 weeks and he's already doing better. That is so much better.
Yeah, see?
I love it.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to be working on? Bigger steps. Correct. There we go. Yeah, so no matter what, we'll figure it out. Because, like, I had planned on seeing him at 9 today. And when I texted his wife, she goes, oh, well, he has the doctor's appointment today.
Nice balance. Stand up, Tom. Yeah. Alright, come out. Do that one first. Slow down. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice job. Alright,
So you are improving. Every time I come here. You're rocking it.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Cleo, awesome job. You just beat that by so much. You got that on camera for sure. You've come so far. And when I first started walking with you, do you remember you weren't able to take very many steps at all? So maybe 2 or 3 steps when we first started a couple months ago. So he's gotten to the point where he's doing his transfers without me having to hold on to him. Yeah, you've done so well. You're welcome. You keep up, okay? You're a hard worker. Well, thank you so much. Come give me a hug. You take care, okay? You keep up those exercises. Show everybody who's boss, because you're gonna be doing cartwheels here in about a year. I have a feeling.
Cartwheels. That's a good one.
It all came full circle for me as far as feeling guilty about the camping, and then it came in handy. Now I kind of feel okay about it. This will be our 4th trip. Oh, our 4th trip. Yes, this is our 4th trip. But ever since we've been doing this, probably after the 2nd one, she hasn't really needed her wheelchair. It's just amazing how it helps so much. Just staying here for 2 weeks gives her a huge health boost.
I think it's been about a mile so far. There's about a half mile more that gets a lot steeper. I'm feeling really good. Kind of sweaty, but I feel really great. I'm not even tired. I don't have any of my usual aches and pains. My feet vaguely hurt, but other than that, I'm feeling really good.
You are totally awesome. Vaughn is a cancer activist, and we met on Facebook through mutual friends, I guess, and we started talking one day and realized we had a lot to talk about our shared experiences as advocates and activists for people who are sick. And they are here now, and we're hanging out, so it's kind of cool. Growing up, I'd see him once a year. As a kid, I loved it. I was like, yay, I get to see my dad. But I didn't know the history yet of his abuse and stuff. My thoughts were I'm gonna become the deformed him, but I'm also gonna become what came with that, which was the abusive him. So I was scared that I was really gonna become my dad. But what if I lose access to those medications because of cuts to Medicaid? My future will look just as grim as my dad's crooked back. That was what caused the most pain and fear, more than anything. And I still struggle with that.
2 years ago at this point, I thought, my whole life had fallen apart. I lost everything. I lost being able to be in school, which I had fought for really hard. And I thought that, that was the end and everything was just gonna be terrible. And now here I am.
Sometimes you just have to let your assumptions go or your thoughts about how to fix something or someone and say, I hear you, I don't know what it's like, but I'm listening. And that's one of the most powerful things anybody can hear.
We've opened our house to everyone to pray, and everybody prays for Junie. I'm thankful for all those people because I believe that collective prayer is really powerful. God's time, he will be completely healed.
Every single step I took, I was like, oh my gosh. I never thought that I would be able to hike again in my life. And then being up here with this view, this spectacular view, it's amazing. Definitely amazing.
I was also in tears because I was just amazed that Sophia came so far and was able to make it up this mountain. And it was just like making it up the same mountain to her recovery.
Go. One more.
So I'm here to test out a few buildings at the local community college because I feel ready to go back to school. Not like a full load, but to try taking a class, try being a student again. It's been 2 years, over 2 years since I've been in school. The quality of the wood makes me a little nervous. You can see that it's corroding down there at the bottom and the paint is peeling. I was telling Esteban that on the way over here. I was like, oh, I don't know about these. And he's like, calm down. Don't get all stressed out before we've even gone in. I'm like, I don't know.
It's only gonna be that one that's open, I think.
Really? This one here?
No, I mean,
Thank you. Are there people in there?
No.
No? Oh, this was a science classroom. I don't know if this one's gonna be the one. Oh, no. Look, on the ceiling, right here, and over there. Nope, 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 nope. Not this one. Nope.
Like it's a display board.
Do they have linoleum in those ones?
No, I don't remember. I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff.
I tried asking him yesterday all these questions about the building. Have you been there? Did it look old? Did it look new? And he's like, I don't know, maybe. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll have to go.
It's kind of like a roller coaster where she goes down and she gets very sick, but then when she starts getting better, we have a lot of hopes where this is it, she's gonna be better now. And
No,
then,
definitely not. There was a big hole in the ceiling.
But it didn't smell as weird.
It doesn't matter if it doesn't smell. It's weird that it's obvious water damage. I'm pretty disappointed. Now I have to drop the class. That I can't take it. I guess online is gonna have to be the way to go. I still can't access these things that I want to. I still can't be a regular student and get my degree. I have to do everything online. Or, I mean, do this whole trying out thing every single time I want to take something. So, it sucks. Sucks. I mean, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
You know, sometimes it goes down again, but so that's hard, you know, the ups and downs, reflecting on it. You know, I really do have some hope that she is getting better. And I think, you know, if we continue down this treatment path, that it's been real helpful, and I think she will end up, you know, getting out of this finally, or at least finding a way to live with it where it's not so devastating when it hits.
Hi Victoria, how have you been?
So Junie, you look really good.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
So.
It's tight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the moon.
Showing you so much.
How's walking?
It's still hard. My left side is stiff.
Oh yeah, it does drag, huh? Just a little, huh? Hi.
How much homework do you have?
Not today. Good night.
So I am about to go to North Carolina, which is where my dad lived, to finish off the estate. It's coming up on a year since he died. So I've broken down and I'm gonna hire an attorney to finish it. So I'm still going to North Carolina and I'm gonna meet with her. And she's gonna take it over. So many papers. Oh, good jump, Juno. You're a bad assistant. I really want to finish it before Burning Man because he died the night that the temple burned at Burning Man, and he died while I was there. And Burning Man is this really profound sort of spiritual place for a lot of people. I just really want to have closure before Burning Man so that I can take a little bit of his ashes and leave them at the temple and say, you know, we're moving on. Yeah. Because he's been a great source of pain in my life, but I also want to give him a good send-off.
Sophia was eventually able to attend college classes that were held inside a safer building. This is the first time she's been able to attend school since dropping out over 2 years ago. Carice reached a milestone during the making of this film.
It says, notice of decision fully favorable. That means I get disability.
She continues to advocate for chronic diseases and for AS. Leo continues to improve on his own pace now. Here he is greeting our family. Many of them haven't seen Leo since surgery.
He look like you.
Yeah,
No.
it's not something I am.
You're handsome.
This is my favorite one. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chronic illness is a rising health problem in our nation. And when enduring the most unprecedented hardship, such as becoming incurable, support is what many people seek. An uncalculated number of people may not always find that, but it's up to us as society to including stories, faces, and names that need recognition in a world that may not always choose to see them.